Hey, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's list time again. We've got a Star Trek list / X-Files list. This is via Screen Rant. Rachel Hulshult wrote this one. So let's have a look. It's an old article, so if you've read it before, I do apologise, but I'm just getting round to it now, so bear with me. This list is 12 Star Trek actors who appeared on The X-Files. Right, so I will make myself teeny tiny, and we'll get into this, shall we? So down I go. There we go. Not teeny tiny enough. It'll do. Right, let's get the window up. Here we go. There it is from Screen Rant. 12 Star Trek actors who appeared on The X-Files. From exploring strange new worlds to fighting to uncover the truth, many actors have appeared on both Star Trek and The X-Files. And there we see Andrew Robinson, Anthony Rapp, and Denise Crosby. There we go. Right, so we'll ignore that bit. As two of the most... Is it going to tell us? Yeah, never mind. As two of the most popular science fiction shows of all time, Star Trek and The X-Files share not only much of the same audience, but also many of the same actors. From the adventures of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Sir Patrick Stewart, and the USS Enterprise D, to those of Captain Benjamin Sisko, Avery Brooks, and Space Station Deep Space Nine, Star Trek had a presence on television throughout all of the 1990s. With their, don't forget Voyager. Maybe no Voyager people appeared on them. No, they did. But anyway, with their episodic formats, both Star Trek and The X-Files had to bring in new actors each episode to portray the aliens or monsters of the week, so viewers of both shows likely saw many familiar faces. The X-Files follows FBI agents Fox Mulder, David Duchovny and Dana Scully, Gillian Anderson, as they investigate cases too strange for other agents to handle. While The X-Files may not have quite as much content as Star Trek, it did inspire 11 seasons of television, 2 feature-length films and 2 spin-offs. Yes, Millennium. I think the Lone Gunman and Millennium were also a spin-off, weren't it? Although The X-Files initially ended in 2002, the show returned in 2016 for 2 more seasons of varying quality. And Black Panther director Ryan Coogler has been attached to a potential reboot since May of 2023, which I'm not looking forward to. Here are the actors who jumped between Star Trek and The X-Files. By the way, I love The X-Files. As we all know, I love Star Trek. I love The X-Files as well. The 2 films, the first film I thought were excellent. The second film, not so much. I don't even know why it was made. I don't to be honest, but I love the spin-offs. I liked Lone Gunmen. I never really got into Millennium. That starred Lance Henriksen. I never really got into that, but anyway. Anyway, number 12, Callum Keith Rennie. Obviously, he's in Star Trek Discovery right now. He's been in X-Files Season 1, Episode 15, Lazarus, and Season 2, Episode 15, Fresh Bones. Right, Callum Keith Rennie has not technically made his Star Trek debut yet. Well, yes, he has. Remember, this is from November. Where's the date there? Because it's from November last year. As I said, it's an old article that I've only just got round to. Anyway, not technically, yes, he has made his Star Trek debut, but he will be joining the cast of Star Trek Discovery Season 5 as Captain Rayner, a no-nonsense Starfleet captain who gets the job done and excels during wartime. He's quite a good character. This will undoubtedly bring Rayner into conflict with Discovery's Captain Michael Burnham, sort of. But the best, in my opinion, the best ever episode of Star Trek Discovery was the latest one. I forgot what it's called. But it has them coming together to work out this problem, a time-travelling problem, which were really good. And I'm not a huge fan of time-travel episodes, but that were good. And I'm not a huge Discovery fan, but that were good. Anyway, Rennie appeared in 2 episodes of The X-Files. In Season 1's Lazarus, he plays the unfortunate victim of a possessed FBI agent, and in Season 2's Fresh Bones, he appears as an unnamed cemetery groundskeeper. That kind of annoys me sometimes when they get... It happens in Stargate a lot, when they get an actor to play 2 different roles, and obviously the producers know the actors and know they can rely on them and the friends or whatever, and And they don't seem to care what the fans think. The fans are thinking, hang on, we've seen him before. He played somebody else. Has he got a doppelganger? And that happened a lot in Stargate. Quite often with prominent characters. But anyway. So there you go. There you go. He appeared in 2 episodes of The X-Files. Right, number 11, Mark Sheppard, Star Trek Voyager. X-Files Season 1, Episode 12, Fire, which were I think that might be classed as a classic episode of X-Files. It was really good. A popular genre actor, Mark Sheppard, is best known for portraying the demon Crowley on Supernatural. He was also in Firefly, wasn't he? He's been in loads of stuff. His dad, W. Morgan Sheppard, has also been in Star Trek. And probably The X-Files at some point, I don't know. Anyway. But one of his earliest roles was in a Season 1 episode of The X-Files. In Fire, Sheppard plays a caretaker of a British estate who can conjure fire with his mind, and then he moves to America. That's why the FBI gets involved. In Star Trek Voyager Season 6, Episode 19, Child's Play, Sheppard portrays Lukon, the father of former Borg drone Icheb, I've heard it pronounced both ways, Manu Intiriyame. God, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Although Captain Catherine Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, believes Icheb's, I'm going to say Icheb, reunion with his parents will be a happy one. She soon discovers that Icheb had been genetically engineered to be assimilated by the Borg and infect them with this virus, which works because they find them on a cube that's been, neutralised, along with some other kids, some other Borg kiddies. Right, and Icheb, became a popular character. Until he was unceremoniously dispatched in Star Trek Picard, Season 1. Unbelievable. Number 10, Terry O'Quinn, Star Trek The Next Generation. Right, so he's been in 3 lots of X-Files. X-Files Season 2, Episode 12, Aubrey. Season 9, Episode 6, Trust No One. Or that Trust Number 1. No, it's Trust No One. And the X-Files movie, the first movie, Fight the Future. In which he gets blown up. Spoilers. We've got some... hang on. Oh, yes, we've got various photos of him here. There's Terry O'Quinn. You may know him from The Stepfather. I think he was in the first 2 Stepfather movies. And obviously we're in Lost. But here he is in the X-Files. There he is. Oh, yes, he's in Star Trek's episode, Season 6, 7. The Pegasus. Anyway, we're in that. And there is in Lost. And then back to that. Right. Another well-known genre actor, Terry O'Quinn, may be best known for portraying John Locke on Lost. I think I saw the first episode. And I might have dipped into the last episode. I don't know. I know I definitely saw the first episode. And that's about it. On Lost. It didn't grip me. It lost me. But he also appeared in a memorable role on The Next Generation and on multiple episodes of The X-Files. In Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 7, Episode 12, The Pegasus, an amazing episode in my opinion, which were kind of, it was revisited again in the notorious Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise series finale, but less said about that the better. O'Quinn played Admiral Eric Pressman, former captain of the USS Pegasus and former commanding officer of Commander William Riker, Jonathan Frakes. I think he was an ensign at the time, were Riker. O'Quinn appeared in 2 different episodes of The X-Files, Aubrey and Trust No One, but his most significant X-Files role was as FBI agent Lieutenant Brian Tillman in the first X-Files movie, The X-Files Fight the Future. As I said, it gets blown up in that. Spoilers. Does he play different characters in the other X? I can't remember. You see, I remember. I'll have seen him because I've seen all the X-Files episodes, but I'm getting old and my memory's fuzzy. Anyway, right, Tony Todd, Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager. And don't forget, he's been in Next Generation as well. Unbelievable. Anyway, X-Files Season 2, Episode 4, Sleepless. Because he played Kern, Worf's brother, in Next Generation, didn't he? Played Kern again in Deep Space Nine, and he also played older Jake Sisko in the only, well, one of the, I think maybe the only, no, I don't know, but one of the few Star Trek episodes that made me cry, The Visitor. And in Voyager, I can't remember who he played in Voyager. Probably an alien, I don't know. Yet another iconic genre actor, famously for his horror stuff, Candyman, well, pretty much everything. It's pretty much been every horror franchise, hasn't he? Tony Todd may be most known for his horror-related roles, but he has popped up in several science fiction shows as well. Todd has appeared as 3 different Star Trek characters across 3 Trek shows. He portrayed the adult version of Jake Sisko in the celebrated Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode The Visitor, which makes me cry, and was introduced as the Klingon Kern, son of Moog, and brother of Lieutenant Commander Worf, Michael Dorn, in Star Trek. He was just a lieutenant at the time, in Star Trek The Next Generation, before returning as Kern on Deep Space Nine. Todd also appeared in Star Trek Voyager Season 4, Episode 16, Prey. Oh, yes, of course he did, yes. As the leader of a group of Hirogen. You can tell his voice a mile off. He's also done a lot of voice work in games and stuff like that, and animation. He's got a very distinctive voice. Todd's X-Files character is an ex-Marine who gained the power to craft illusions after a sleep deprivation experiment. Oh, yes, I remember that now. Yes, I remember that one. Right, Susanna Thompson, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek The Next Generation. X-Files Season 1, Episode 9, Space. I think that's a notorious episode. It's to do with the face on Mars, isn't it? But not really. Anyway. Susanna Thompson appeared as 4 different Star Trek characters, though her most significant role was as the Borg Queen in Star Trek Voyager. I think it's played her 2 or 3 times. They brought Alice Krieg back in the finale, didn't they, of Voyager. Thompson portrayed Trill scientist Lenara Khan in Deep Space Nine Season 4, Episode 5, Rejoined, which saw her share a kiss with Lieutenant Jadzia Dax, which was a notorious episode, but kind of hot as well. Terry Farrell, the dishy Lieutenant Dax, who later became Lieutenant Commander. Because of the television and cultural landscape of the mid-1990s, the kiss between the 2 women made Rejoined a particularly controversial episode of Star Trek. Thompson also played minor characters in 2 episodes of The Next Generation. In The X-Files, Thompson portrayed Michelle Gennaro, whatever, a NASA communications commander who helps agents Mulder and Scully uncover who is sabotaging NASA missions. And I think it turned out it was a former an astronaut or something that were working at the space centre, something like that. He kept seeing this face, like the face on Mars. Something had happened while he was in space, and he became possessed by this space entity. I think that's that one. Anyway, there we go. Although Alice Krieg originated the character of the Borg Queen in Star Trek First Contact, she did not return to the role until Voyager's 2-part finale, Endgame. And then they got somebody else to play her in Picard Season 2. But I think Alice Krieg's voice returned in Picard Season 3. But somebody else, I think, played the physical Borg Queen. But I think they got a voice. I think she came in and dubbed the voice. I think. Could be wrong. Number 7, Hiro Kanagawa, Star Trek Discovery. I can't remember, I don't know. The X-Files Season 2, Episode 9, Firewalker, Season 4, Episode 19, Synchrony, and Season 10, Episode 1, My Struggles. Oh, there we go. Obviously they needed Asian actors for those roles. A new addition to the Star Trek family, Hiro Kanagawa joined the cast of Star Trek Discovery for the final few episodes of Season 4 as Dr. Hirai. I can't remember. I have seen Star Trek Discovery. I didn't like it. It seems to be getting better now. This Season 5 of Star Trek Discovery, not too bad so far, although there are bits in it that are super stupid and annoying. But on the whole, it's the best one so far, in my opinion. Anyway, and I can't really remember Season 4. I know it had the weird aliens, fallopian tube aliens at the end, but that's about all I can remember. As an expert in astrolinguistics, xenophonology, and theoretical semiotics, just making things up out there, Hirai worked with the crew of the USS Discovery to attempt to communicate with unknown species 10C, they're the fallopian tube aliens. Kanagawa has appeared in 3 different episodes of The X-Files, playing an ill-fated systems analyst in Season 2's Firewalker, an equally ill-fated biology researcher, Dr. Yonichi, in Season 4's Synchrony. Kanagawa returned to The X-Files in 2016 to portray scientist Dr. Garner, not a very Asian name, is it? Never mind. In the Season 10 premiere, My Struggle. I honestly can't remember. But number 6, we'll move on. Jennifer Hectrick, Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. She was in X-Files Season 3, Episode 21, Avatar. There she is. Jennifer Hectrick is best known for playing Vash on 2 episodes of The Next Generation and 1 of Deep Space Nine. After Captain Picard met Vash while he was on holiday, about to say that in Yorkshire, when she was on holiday, the captain's holiday episode where he went to Riser, didn't he? The two developed a brief but sweet romance. In her second appearance on Next Generation, which was Cupid, Vash encountered Q, John Delancey, and left with him to travel throughout time and space. And she returned in Deep Space Nine, in Q's only appearance on Deep Space Nine. Obviously, Sisko scared him off. But in the episode Q-less, which were early in Season 1, that's when she popped up on Deep Space Nine. That's it. And the famous episode where Sisko punched Q, and Q never came back. It obviously worked, didn't it? Violence is the answer. Anyway, in The X-Files, Hectrick portrayed Sharon Skinner, the wife of FBI Assistant Director Walter Skinner. Mitch Pileggi. How do you pronounce his name? Is it Pileggi? Or is it Pileggi? I have no idea. I always pronounce it Pileggi. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Although Director Skinner continued to be a significant recurring character on The X-Files and Stargate, the ultimate fate of Sharon Skinner after Avatar remains unknown. You know what? Honestly, I can't remember. I'm going to have to rewatch The X-Files again. Right, number 5, Kurtwood Smith, Star Trek 4, The Undiscovered Country, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, and Star Trek Lower Decks. Tell you. He was in X-Files Season 3, Episode 14, Grotesque, and that was a good episode. It was about golems and stuff like that, weirdly. All like paintings and stuff that came to life. And it was weird. There he is in that episode. There he is as the president of the Federation. Was he blind? I don't know, because he looked around as though he were blind, and he wore these special glasses that I thought they're like a precursor to Geordie's visor. But where he looked around, it looked like he couldn't see what was going on. I don't know. There he is as a Cardassian. Don't remember that episode. Obviously on Deep Space Nine. There he is as I've got his name now. The Krenim chap, Anorax on Voyager. The Krenim popped up again in the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery. Not in person, but their technology, because there was a species. Well, he had sorted out time travel. They could do time stuff and change time and all that. And a piece of Krenim technology popped up in Star Trek Discovery, which were cool. And did he do a voice in Lower Decks? Let's say I can't remember. Right, Star Trek fans may recognise Kurtwood Smith as the first as the Federation president, whose life was threatened in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, but he also made appearances in Deep Space Nine and Voyager. In Deep Space Nine Season 5, Episode 8, Things Past, Smith is unrecognisable as Thrax, a Cardassian who served as Chief of Security on Terok Nor, the Cardassian name for Deep Space Nine. Before Constable Odo Rennie Aubergenoise, the late Rennie Aubergenoise, took over the position. In Voyager, Smith portrays the main antagonist in the Season 4 Year of Hell 2-parter Anorax. Smith appears as FBI Special Agent turned killer Bill Patterson in The X-Files. Smith also voiced Imperium Magistrate Klar in Lower Decks Season 1 Episode 8 Veritas. Also in Rambo 3. I think it was Rambo 3 you were in. And his most famous role is probably Clarence Bodicker in RoboCop. Right, number 4, Penny Johnson-Gerald, Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek The Next Generation. The Orville as well. X-Files Season 8, Episode 12, Medusa. In addition to prominent roles on 24, where she played the wife of the president, and she was a baddie as well. She played a good part in that. And The Orville, where she plays a goodie. Terrible, I'm going to say series finale, because we don't know if we're getting any more Orville. So she gets married to Isaac, the robot. Artificial life form, whatever you want to call him. Hated that episode. Anyway, Penny Johnson-Gerald is best known to Star Trek fans for portraying Cassidy Yates on Deep Space Nine. A freighter captain, Yates met Captain Benjamin Sisko, Avery Brooks, after Sisko's son Jake Siriclofton introduced them, and they fell in love and got married, and they were all nice. And she played a good part in that film. She was a good character. The two begin dating and eventually marry near the end of Deep Space Nine's run. The X-Files Season 8 episode Medusa finds agents Dana Scully and John Doggett, Robert Patrick, investigating a series of strange deaths in the tunnels beneath Boston. Gerald plays CDC, Centre for Disease Control, pathogen specialist Dr. Helura Lyle, is that how you pronounce it? Who aids Scully and Doggett in their investigation. Remember in X-Files, I think it was from Season 8 onwards, Season 8, 9 and 10 I think, Mulder had sodded off, it disappeared. I don't think anybody knew where he was. He turned up again, he popped up occasionally, but he was mostly absent. He was replaced by Robert Patrick, who played Special Agent John Doggett, and we also had, because even Gillian Anderson scaled back her role. She kind of became the Mulder character, believing everything. But she was kind of replaced by Annabeth Gish as Agent Monica Reyes. And she was like a total believer in all this weird and wacky stuff. But she popped up again, did Monica Reyes, in the new X-Files series. And I think she was a baddie in that. I think. I could be wrong. Anyway, there we go. Penny Johnson previously played a villager, named Debarra in TNG Season 7, Episode 13, Homeward. Which one's that? I can't remember that one. Anyway, never mind. Number 3, Denise Crosby, Star Trek The Next Generation. The X-Files, obviously we know she played Tasha Yar. And Sealer. X-Files, Season 8, Episode 17, oh God. Empedocles, how do you pronounce that? I have no idea. Empedocles, whatever. And Season 8, Episode 20, Essence. Right. You know what? I don't remember that either. I don't remember the X-Files either. Weird. Right, Denise Crosby's Lieutenant Tasha Yar began Next Generation as one of the show's main characters, but she met a tragic death before the end of the first season because she basically went in a huff and she thought her character was going nowhere. So she said, write me out, so they didn't kill her. But she came back occasionally. After Tasha's death, Crosby would appear as various alternate incarnations of the character in later episodes of The Next Generation. Yar also returned to TNG as Sealer, Yar's half-Romulan daughter from an alternate timeline. Well, no, she's from our timeline, the proper timeline, but Tasha Yar had travelled from an alternate timeline in the episode Yesterday's Enterprise. So, anyway. In the X-Files, Crosby appears briefly in 2 episodes as Dr. Mary Speak, the gynecologist, attending to Dana Scully during the final months of her pregnancy. Right, number 2. As I said, I have no memory of this. I genuinely haven't. Number 2, Andrew Robinson, the great Andrew Robinson, one of those actors that I think is just amazing in everything he does. It's like Jeffrey Combs, who else? Brad Dourif, that's another one. Who else? And actors like that, who I think I think they're classed as character actors, aren't they? But they're just amazing in everything they do. Anyway, Andrew Robinson started Deep Space Nine, famously played Garak, the Cardassian. It was in the X-Files Season 6, Episode 16, Alpha, and there he is. Also, probably most famous, or not most famous, but he's a famous early role. He played the, I forgot what it was called now, the killer. He had a name in it, and I can't remember what it was now. It wasn't the Zodiac Killer, it was something else. But something along those lines. The killer in the first Dirty Harry film. Anyway. Andrew Robinson's Elim Garak became one of the most interesting and beloved characters to come out of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and he wasn't gay. Even Andrew Robinson said that he was gay. Garak wasn't gay. He was in love with, I forgot her name, Gul Dukat's daughter. He was in love with her, so how could he be gay? Maybe he was bi. They tried to make out, they do this slash fiction between him and Dr. Bashir. They were just friends, for Christ's sake. Like Dr. Bashir and Chief O'Brien were friends. Stop having everybody shagging. It doesn't have to happen like that. Right, anyway, the Cardassian spy turned tailor embodied the more morally grey aspects of Deep Space Nine, setting him apart from the most of Star Trek's main characters. Although Garak made some questionable decisions, his charming personality and friendships with Odo, and I don't know if he was a friend of Odo, but because he tortured him. But anyway, and Dr. Julian Bashir, Alexander Siddig, made him a complicated and captivating character. Robinson appeared in The X-Files as cryptozoologist Dr. Ian Detweiler, who Mulder began to suspect may be able to shapeshift into a dangerous dog-like creature. Don't remember that one either. I'm rubbish, aren't I? I'm rubbish. And I've seen all episodes of The X-Files, like I've seen all episodes of Star Trek. Like I said, I'm getting old. I am genuinely, I know it's called that old Yorkshire geek. I'm genuinely getting old and losing my marbles. Anyway, number 1, Anthony Rapp, Star Trek Discovery. X-Files Season 5, Episode 4, Detour, another one that I have no memory of. So I'm just checking. No, it's not that one. I wonder, was it that one with the flies that kill you? But no, I don't think it was. As a spore drive specialist on the USS Discovery, Anthony Rapp's commander Paul Stamets can connect to the mycelial network and propel the USS Discovery instantaneously across great distances. It's stupid. Stamets' knowledge and passion for science have helped save Discovery on more than one occasion, and he and his husband, Dr. Hugh Culber, Wilson Cruz, another character that's, not very interesting, in my opinion. He's just there to be the gay doctor. Although he did have a good part in the latest season, where he kind of joined with a trill. He had a trill consciousness inhabit him for a while, and that was a good episode as well. Anyway, have a wonderful and realistic relationship. Although you don't see them together very often, to be completely honest. But anyway, not outside of work. That's what I'm trying to say. Anthony Rapp played the small role of technician Jeff Glazer in the X-Files Season 5 episode Detour, in which he used his infrared camera to help Agent Mulder. Anthony Rapp may be best known for originating the role of Mark Cohen in the Broadway musical Rent, but he's also one of the few actors to play a main character in a Star Trek TV show and appear on the X-Files. I'm sure there's loads. There'll be loads of them. Miles more than appeared here in this list. But anyway, so that's that list. So there we go. If you know any more, pop them in the comments. This video it'll be exclusive to my Patreon for a while, and then it'll pop up on YouTube at a later date. So even later than the date on the article. Which I'm like, what is it now? We're in April now of 2024. So I'm like 5 months late. I'm sorry. Right, so we'll leave it there. Let's get rid of that and I'll make myself big again. There it goes. Where's my webcam? There we go. I'll pop myself back up here. It's easier on StreamYard. I'm using Streamlabs for this. Right, we'll leave it there. So, hope you enjoyed that list. It was alright, wasn't it? As I said, if you know any more actors that appeared in Star Trek and the X-Files, let us know. I'm sure that there's probably lists of X-Files, Stargate actors as well. I'm sure I'll find one of them at some point, probably. I may have done one, I don't know, I can't remember. I tell you, I'm losing my marbles. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see you.